Mm, Sorry about that. You are watching The Pot, where food and culture collide. Welcome to The Pot. We're here every Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know where you're watching from. I can smell some good food. Somebody's making some really good food out there. I can smell it from here. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you've already made dinner. Let me know if you are going to make dinner. Let me know what you guys are cooking up tonight. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Who do we have here today? We have Of Salt and Silence Poetry saying, "Hi, DS. Passengers of the food plane excited to continue the conversation." Yes, indeed. So am I. I am very excited tonight. Yeah, if you guys missed part one, you can watch part one of this conversation. Tonight's part two. Part one was wonderful. We had two back-to-back shows last week. We had Carolyn Nickel, all the way from Toronto, Canada, certified holistic nutritionist. She was answering our health questions. We got into sugar diabetes. We got into high blood pressure, and she'll be coming back also. We'll be talking more about that very soon. I'm DS Elias. You are watching the Food Plane YouTube channel, and this is The Pot. We're here every Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, returning in 2 weeks, July 25th, Saturdays, 11 a.m., America's Best Food Destinations returns for episode 2 and 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. If you missed episode 1, we went to a historical food landmark. We went to a place that it's the birthplace of the hamburger in America, and it's been serving the hamburger the same way it has since the 1800s. So here's a quick clip. Yeah. So if you get a chance, give that check that out. That video, episode 1 of America's Best Food Destinations, is available to watch now. And in 2 weeks, we come back July 25th. I will be showing you America's best food destinations. I'm really excited about that. Also, if you're interested, we did a Yale University walking tour and of the outside of Yale University. That is also available to watch as well. Letting you guys know that we will be doing monthly giveaways here on The Pot. Monthly giveaways of up to $100, and it could be more. So it could be tonight. It could be next week. It could be the week. At least once a month, we are doing monthly giveaways of up to $100. So, like I said, I will not be announcing. I will not tell you when we're doing the giveaway. It could be at any moment tonight. It could be next week at any moment. So turn on those notifications. Let's see who's here. Sourdough rye bread and cheeseburgers. Sourdough rye bread and cheeseburgers. Okay, that sounds great. So amazing. They're still using the same broilers. Yes. That is amazing. The same, and it's been in continual use, as I mentioned in the video, since the 1800s. To even have a place still around from the 1800s in its original form, that's pretty. That is definitely pretty wild. All right, I am super excited to also make this announcement. That season 3 of the Food Plane, the show, this is the Food Plane YouTube channel, but there's a show that we have called The Food Plane, where I show you how to make foods from around the world. Right now, our library is full of YouTube. It's full of delicious recipes from around the world, and also great fun food facts. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to come back and show you guys how to make foods from around the world. But this time, what's different about season 3 is I will be in the videos. It'll be in-person cooking videos. So that's coming up very soon. I'm really excited about that. See what's in the chat. Dr. Tachi, hey, I need the link. Woo, boy. All right. Ooh, let me see what I can do here. We got to get Dr. Tachi on. She's our very special guest today. All right, let me work on my phone here. Yeah. Now I smell some food, so I know somebody's cooking something else. Somebody is cooking something out there, and y'all ain't saying anything. Let me know where you're watching. Let me know what you guys are cooking. Also, what's your favorite meal? I'm just curious. What is your favorite meal? All right, I'm working on sending Dr. Tachi the link. Where's that from? All right, let's see. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. All righty. All right. 1 second. It's going to be a fun show. Just hang in there with me. These things happen. Um, all right, here it comes. Here it comes. All right, I'm replying. Oh, wait, that's not it. Hold on. All right, here it comes, Dr. Tachi. All right, I just sent it. Thank you guys for being patient. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. What's that? Technology works when it wants to. Yeah, yeah. Watching from Connecticut, mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. Okay. All right, Dr. Tachi, I sent it. Hopefully that gets through. If not, let me know. We'll keep working. We'll keep working at it. All right. So while Dr. Tachi is getting in here, here is today's trivia. All right, we'll give you the answer shortly. All right, so let's see. Who's in the chat? Oh, Hannah's here. Hello, Hannah. So nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All right, Hannah's in the house. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, just in case you guys didn't see it, here's the trivia once. All right, I'll give you the answer shortly. Okay, so real quick, just want to let you know that next week, as I already mentioned, Carolyn Nichols is going to be with us for part 2 of health and nutrition. If you missed part 1, you're going to want to check that out, and you don't want to miss part 2. Next week, Carolyn Nichols is back all the way from Toronto, Canada, and she's going to answer all of your health questions. So I'm so excited to have her back. Wasn't she great last week? Oh man, she's always right on. She's so much fun to have. She's full of so much information. It's really wild. And don't we all want to be healthier, or at least healthy? We all want to live a long life. Well, listening to her and taking her advice, you might be able to reach that. So yeah, give us a watch next week. We'll be talking more about high blood pressure and sugar diabetes, arthritis, and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, listen, I am so excited to have Dr. Tachi back. The queen of pop culture is with us. And before she comes on, here's a little bit of your hospitality news. Ooh, I guess that's the intro for it. Yeah, it's a little serious for our show, you know. Okay, all right. Our grocery store is the next restaurant. Competition. What do you mean? Grocers are increasingly looking like restaurants. Kroger's, Whole Foods, and others keep expanding their grab and go menus, sushi, hot bars, and that sort of thing. And people are choosing that over fast food. Some say it's a better value than fast food right now. What say you? What do you guys think? Salt and Silence says, hi, Hannah. So good to be here. Oh, man, so good to have you. Thank you, Hannah. Hello, Salt and Spice. All right, Salt and Spice, Salt and Silence. I got to get used to it. I got to get used to it. All right, let's have our trivia answer. Fast food used to be cheaper, the cheaper option. Now it's more expensive. Interesting, interesting. So if you ever been to Whole Foods, I love Whole Foods, and they have grab and go food, and it's pretty good if you ever had it. But the thing is, it seems to be trending now where people are starting to go to that. People like Kroger's, quick, what they call the grab and go meals, and it's taking over fast food, and I find that fascinating. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys do the grab and goes? Are you into that, or would you rather have the fast foods that we're normally eating? Whole Foods, at least you have a better, healthier option there. I'm not sure what we don't have Kroger's in in the Northeast. We don't, so not that I'm aware of. So if we do, please let me know. Whole Foods has a $35 family meal with 4 portions of protein and 2 sides. You can't beat that. That's for a family. $35. That is very good. That is very good. I completely and totally agree. Okay, so I am excited. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing in Dr. Tachi in right after this message. Get ready, food lovers. The food plane is taking off. I'm DS Elias, and I'm bringing you to the best food destinations in America. From legendary bites to hidden gems, we're tasting it all one plate at a time. I'm eating my way across America to find the best food this country has to offer. Legendary pizza, iconic eats, and maybe a few calories. Okay, a lot of calories. So subscribe now and bring your appetite. Napkins not included. There she is, ladies and gentlemen, media professor, host of Mediascope, and founder of Indie Soup Media. The queen of pop culture has returned. Welcome back, Dr. Tachi.
Hello, thank you. It's good to be back. Thank you for all the applause and all of that. Thank you.
Hashitashi. It was still in there. I had one more and I had to get it out.
More.
I had to get it out, Oh man, Dr. Tachi, how you doing? You look great like always. How's the weather?
Oh, hot.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah. It was crazy last week here in the Northeast. It went over 100, the index. And now it's still hot, but it's a lot more manageable. Nothing worse than a heat wave. How do you deal with heat waves over there?
It's Florida, so is there really a such thing as heat wave?
Whoa. Wow. It's the norm over there?
It's well, yeah, it's always warm. We may get sometimes in like January and February where it dips to 60, but that's normally it's warm.
Wow. Well, thanks for being here, Dr. Tachi. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Question: how did you get started in media? How did you get started? What led you to being a media professor? What led you to that? What inspired all that?
So if we're talking about how I got there, how last week I was singing the songs and all the jingles and things, is because I'm a TV addict. Wow. And so I've always loved anything that is television. I love music. So anything that's media, I've always loved. So it was actually my father who made the suggestion after I was not going to medical school and said, no, I'm not going to medical school. He was the one that made the suggestion of, why don't you major in mass communication? I was like, what is that? So I did some research and I figured out that mass communication is the field that deals with television, radio, internet, wireless telegraphy, all of that. So that's how I started my journey. And so that's what I went to school for.
So were you going to be a doctor? Was that the plan?
That's African parents' plan for you.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. No. Going to get my PhD initially was not something I was thinking about either. It was only after I finished my master's and I saw what the job market was like. And I had so much fun actually researching my topic, I decided I wanted to stay in. So the deadline had passed to apply for the PhD program. I begged my way in into the program and they accepted me like after done so well in the master's program. But and this is my favorite professor, Dr. Carolyn Stroman. She was like, and I kept bothering her. She said, Tachi, fine, I will accept you. But if you get anything less than a 3.8, I'm throwing you out of the program. And I knew she really wouldn't. But so I kept a 4.0 the entire time, just in case.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Wow. And where was this?
Say again?
Where was this?
Oh, at Howard University.
Howard University. That's okay. Wow. So how did you make the move to Florida?
I got a job here. So when you finish your doctor, well, actually before you finish, you should be looking. So I knew I was getting ready to defend. So I have been applying to different places. And I kind of was trying to apply based off of where I thought I might be able to live. So I applied to 2 schools in New York, and then I applied to 3 schools here in Florida. So I said, at least for a little while, it will be fun, if nothing else. So I came for my interview. They flew me down here. Wow. I went through the whole interview, and then I got back. The day I got back, they were like, so you want the job? I was like, yeah, I guess so. So that's how I got here.
Wow. So what is it like compared to every place else you've been? What is it like in Florida? Is this your landing? Is this it?
This is not it. I don't think. I think I will always have, a foot here.
Yeah.
But Florida is interesting because, I always tell people I'm very northern. I grew up up north. I'm very much used to the level of different things that you have here. And here's the thing that I've noticed, that wherever you are, you have to take it for what it is. To try and make this into a mini New York or DC would not work. That's not what this is. It's a major place because I live in the Miami Fort Lauderdale area, but there are different ways of thinking, different viewpoints, different things that are important. For example, I was used to a very huge dance scene. I always danced in DC. I danced in 3 dance companies in DC. And then whenever I was in New York, I was always dancing at Ailey Extension, Steps on Broadway. I was always taking dance classes. So I got here, and adult dance is not the focus here. It's kids competition dance. Kick. How high can you kick your legs? So I found some dance places, but it was nothing like DC and New York. So, but I had to make the most of it. I'm like, I'm here. Let me make the most of the dance that is here. So,
wow, you're multi-talented. So hold on. You're a dancer. How did that happen? What inspired that?
Yeah, dancer, choreographer. Well, I danced since I was little, actually. So I danced when I was little, all through grade school. I didn't really do it in high school until there was something called the Brotherhood program. It was really for Black History Month. And so one of the people that was involved was a dancer and choreographer. Her name was Avila Lemon, and she actually lives in New York City, and she's a designer. She's amazing. And so she choreographed a dance to the song from West Side Story, There's a Place for Us. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'll be, they said they needed dancers. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. didn't know
Huh.
that I still had all the ability and stuff, and I did. So then when I was in undergrad, I always every semester I registered for a dance class, and then I became the president of the African dance troupe at the University of Buffalo. So
Wow.
since then, like I African is my base, but then I started doing modern and jazz and tap.
Oh
So
yeah. Wow. So how do you tie that into media if you do? Where's your attention the most? You have so many talents. Where's your attention the most? What are you more
I think
passionate about?
I don't think it's a question of which one I'm more passionate about
Makes
because
sense.
I'm
Makes sense.
passionate about all of them.
I hear you.
You
Yeah.
you find time, it's
Yeah.
the interesting thing is I was working when I was in DC. I was working on my doctorate. I was also teaching, also full. I was a professor at Morgan State University because my thing
Oh,
is in order to really get a good job. So I was a teaching associate. So I taught at Howard, and that's how I got my PhD paid for because I taught and I was an editorial assistant for the Howard Journal of Communication while I was there. So,
wow.
but then I said, okay, I need more experience outside of just teaching at Howard. So I then started teaching at Morgan State University I was there for 2 years. And I said, I need even more. So I was also part-time. I was full-time at Morgan and part-time at George Washington University. So while I was at DC, I had the experience of teaching at 3 different universities. So I was always able to do it because I also danced for dance companies. So Carla and Company, we rehearsed on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I happened to teach on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we had performances both at the theater, and then we went around. We had a program which was great. Carla and Company was the resident company of a place called Dance Place in DC. And what we used to do is we had outreach. So we would go to different schools in the Washington, DC area and teach classes, but we also did performances and we got the kids involved. So it
Oh
was
wow.
really great. I really love doing dance outreach. So it's all your answer to your question. I do it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, that's freaking I'm sorry. That's just badass. That's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Wow. So in Florida, what
Mhm.
well, actually, let me go back. So,
Yeah.
what is number one? What's the hardest part or the biggest challenge with being a professor and teaching? And then, yeah, let's start with that one. What's the biggest challenge, and what's your favorite part?
This is a great question because the challenges have changed over the years.
Yeah.
As technology gets better and better, the challenges increase. So I would say dealing with AI is a challenge
Oh,
because now people are going to want to start to write their papers using AI and not do their own work. And I'm like, sir, I can tell that you wrote this with ChatGPT. I've been doing this long enough now because I've been
sure.
teaching since 2001. So I've been
Wow.
doing this long enough to know when things are your own work. And I'm
Yeah.
watching you when you respond to people. I know you didn't write this.
Right.
Come
Right.
on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a challenge. I would say another thing that it's not challenging. I just don't like doing. I can't stand correcting. I hate it. Hate correcting papers.
Go correcting papers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've had to do to get over that is to actually, as soon as I start getting things in, do it right away. So even if it's not due yet, if I notice somebody turned in something, bam, I'm correcting it. Because if I let it pile up, your grade is as good as gone. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. Oh, Dr. Tasha, you're too much. So, first of all, frequency event promotions. Hello, good to see
Hey,
you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Dr. Tashi, we have a question. Dr.
yeah.
Tashi, who is your favorite author?
Oh, I have so many favorite authors. There was, and I don't know if it's favorite authors as much as favorite books because what I've I've discovered is that there are some amazing authors, but I tend to gravitate toward titles rather than just an author.
Mm.
So I love Chinua Achebe, who wrote Things Fall Apart and No Longer at Ease. I, of course, and fun fact, a family friend is related to Chinua Achebe. So I think that's
Wow.
amazing. Zadie Smith wrote White Teeth, and White Teeth was like, ooh, it's been some time now since it's been out. I like Chimamanda Adichie. She Half of a Yellow Sun is
I
one of
love
my
these
favorite
names.
books.
I love the
Yeah,
names.
yeah. um, I I I like so many different types of things. Kevin Fredericks, who is Kev on Stage on social media, he's got two books out that and he's an amazing storyteller.
Wow.
So there are just lots of different titles that I'm drawn to, but there's so many great authors. So
Yeah.
thank you for asking. I know I didn't answer really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, your Salt and Silence. She is a poet, a professional poet. Um,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Actually, it's Nicole. Nicole, that's our producer. Well, she helps. She's learning how to help me out and do all of that. But she is a
oh,
yeah. She's been a freelance writer. She's been on very popular magazines. She knows her stuff, man. She has her bachelor's. She's really good at what she does. So
that's
she has an
amazing. I love
yeah
it.
yeah. She has another question. How do you think
Yeah.
AI has? This is a great question. How do you? You know what? Maybe touch on it now because we are going to be touching on it later. So just touch
Okay.
on it. Just give her a moose bouche, an appetizer, an hors d'oeuvre. That's all. Just a taste, a little tasty taste. Okay,
Horace Duvray. I will.
that one, yeah, that too. Okay, so how do you think AI has affected critical thinking skills?
So this is interesting. It follows that people have had to have critical thinking skills to begin with. And I don't want to just blame AI on the lack of critical thinking skills. That has been under attack in the American educational system for a long
Yeah,
time.
well said.
So
Well said.
it's more than just technology, it's more than just AI. It just made it easier for you not to go that final mile, not to think, because now there's a machine that will quote unquote think for you. But I think the erosion of critical thinking skills has been coming for a long time, starting with taking certain things out of the curriculum,
Wow.
starting with not talking about certain things in society so that people do have to use critical thinking in order to solve things.
Wow. Wow. And wow. Well said. Okay. So what is you're close to Miami, Dr. Tachi?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm in Fort
Wow.
Lauderdale, which is like, depending on what part of Miami, I could
Yeah.
probably get there in half an hour. But if you're talking about like
What?
downtown Miami, that's going to be 40 minutes with no traffic. With traffic, that's a different thing. Miami Beach, that's like 45 minutes without traffic, but it could
Yeah.
be longer with. So it's for Miami and Fort Lauderdale is all one area
Right.
basically.
And do you like Miami? Do you go there often?
You know what? Here's the thing. When I
Is
first
it
moved here,
overrated? Is it overrated?
Miami is overrated. Now, if you
Really?
talk to Miami people, they'll be like, yeah, well, then leave. I no problem.
Yeah.
but it's overrated because here's the thing. Coming from living in New York and living in DC, I was so used to real multiculturalism where you had lots of different people. Now, don't get me wrong. There are lots of different types of people here, but the majority of people here are from Latin America and the Caribbean. And of course, you've got a Russian contingent here. You've got some European, like a French contingency here, but it's nowhere near as diverse as something like a New York City, as something like a Washington, D.C. And then it's reflected, and this you'll love, it's reflected in the food choices. There's some beautiful fresh food here, fresh seafood, etc. But can I get some African food? Any
Yeah.
type of African food?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because this is not a hub for Africans.
Okay.
So I just if I don't want to make it, I just
Yeah.
have to go without.
Oh, wow. Wow. Or watch the food plane and we'll teach you how to make some food. Okay. All right.
Well, I know how to make it. I don't want to do it though all the
Right. I hear
time.
you. I hear you. I hear you. All right. The Cubano sandwiches. Yeah. It's a lot of
Oh,
Cuban Latin. So I was thinking that Miami, because we're considering going for America's best food destinations. And
yeah, you
I just
should.
want I should, but you just told me
No, that's if you. I live here,
I
so if living here is different from visiting.
got it.
Okay, so
Got it.
when people come here, like, oh, I can live here. I'm like, all right, you'll see. Come live here.
Okay.
And it's not that it's a bad place. There are some wonderful people here, wonderful things, and great programs to get involved in, but it is not the Northeast. Let's be clear. So, if
Got
you're
it.
used to the diversity of things that you can do in the Northeast, so for example, Art Basel, that's the big art event here. But really, Art Basel is basically local people and celebrities showing off. And then there's some good art and some terrible art. So the real Basel, or the original one in Switzerland,
Mm,
is amazing from what I heard. So this is an offshoot of this one, and I believe they also do Hong Kong. So
wow.
it's one thing to come here and live, but visiting is fine. I would definitely do that, especially if you are wanting to do Cuban food.
Mm,
That would be very
yeah.
advantageous.
Oh, that sounds so yummy. All right, here's a segment we like to call Snack to the Future. Dr.
Yeah.
Tashi, do you remember these?
Yes, Bazooka, and inside was the Bazooka Joe jokes.
The comic
The
strip.
comics.
They're like, and
Yes.
the thing was so hard. And it had no taste. The gum, I don't remember it. If it had a taste, it left in like 5 seconds.
It was the classic bubblegum taste. So it's very sugary. I know
Right.
there's a little bit of some kind of spice in there that makes it, but yeah,
Interesting.
it left in 5 minutes. And to be honest, it wasn't really delicious. I only really liked the comics.
Right, right. Yeah, a lot of, yeah, right, right. How about this?
Nerds, yes. How about you? How about you have no teeth? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we back to everything in the 80s was all about, it was a sweet 80s. How about this?
Mm. Entenmann's, yes. You know what I used to like? I used to like their coffee cake. And out of
Oh,
the donut
yummy.
pack, the plain ones are my favorite. The plain cake donuts are my favorite.
Oh, wow. Wow. And wow. So in my home, it was a big deal in the 80s to have that in the fridge. If that was in the fridge,
Oh,
it was a special treat. And it just brings,
oh,
yeah, it brings back those memories for me because I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. So to have Edamans back in the 80s, because they're still probably a little not, they're not cheap. Let's put it that like that. So back then, especially, it was like a special treat to have that. So I just recall the flavors and the taste, and just it brings me back home. Yeah.
kind of like
Oh,
that international coffees
yeah. Oh my gosh.
or Viennetta.
Oh, oh my God. You remember that? That
I
is
do.
crazy.
Listen, advertising is everything because I remember all of us, like kids, we're like, we want to try international coffees. We want to do Viennetta. But from what I've heard, it wasn't that special. Like Viennetta was just like crispy chocolate and ice cream. So
It
what?
was
But
right.
it was the marketing.
The marketing. Yeah. Good timing for that kind of marketing back then. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy, Dr. Tashi, are you ready for this? I got to tell you something.
Yes.
I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. Okay, so this is huge. This is huge. One of my favorite. Now, first of all, I heard you read the Little House on the Prairie books.
I did all of them.
Okay. Dr. Tashi, it's one of my favorite shows. If anything, in my opinion, it could be arguably one of the greatest shows ever made, period. From a moral perspective, from the spirit of Michael Landon, the spirit of every show had something woven throughout each episode, and it was love. It was love. And it was showing, listen, that you could be a believer in God and not be perfect, and because that was in the show as well, subtly, but it was there. I don't, maybe not even subtly, it was there. So it's one of my favorite shows, and I think every child growing up should watch a show like that. Like, that's the kind of shows we need nowadays. So I said that,
Absolutely.
yeah, I said that because did you hear? Oh my God, Dr. Tachi, and it's happening tonight on Netflix. They are redoing. You heard about it. Tell me what you think. Now, before you do that, hold on,
Okay.
Dr. Tachi. Before you do that, so my first reaction was, oh, come on. How are you going to remake a masterpiece? That is a masterpiece in in the world of filming. That was a masterpiece. How do you my main concern was, how do you capture the spirit of the show? And anybody who's a fan of Little House on the Prairie knows exactly what I mean when I say the spirit of the show. That was my concern. So what did I do? I did a little research and I started looking around. And by the way, this is the new cast of Little House on the Prairie. And so this is starting tonight, a whole remake of Little House on the Prairie. Charles, the young girls, Mary, Laura, and Carolyn, the wife, they're all going to be played, and they're doing the story again. So I watched some of the interviews and I saw some of the clips, and I said, wow, maybe they did capture this. Maybe it's worth me looking into, but it feels weird. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Dr. Tachi?
Whenever I hear that something is being rebooted or reimagined, I'm always like, hashtag side eye. You better not mess it up, especially something that is a classic like Little House on the Prairie. Not only did I read the books, it was actually the television series that prompted me when I was in second and third grade to read the books.
Wow.
So yeah, I was, and you know, usually they tell you what you could read at that point, but they're like, because you're a good reader, you could go ahead, because those books were like 300 pages each. So yeah, no, they're thick books.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very thick. So whenever I hear something like that, I'm always skeptical, like you, because how do you do justice to something that is such a favorite? In fact, they rebuilt the Ingalls home in, I can't remember where, but I follow some of the cat Nellie Olson and the actor that played Almanzo Wilder. I follow them on Instagram, and they actually have a podcast, and they rebuilt the Ingalls home, and I can't remember where it is, somewhere in California, but it's amazing to watch. So people still love that show so much that you really have to do a great job in order to do justice to this. So the second thing with this is this also speaks a little bit to the industry, to Hollywood and what's happening now. Hollywood always will go with the story that they are 100% sure of, with a show that they are 100% sure of in their minds, because this is why they don't like to take chances on new things. You don't think we could have done something else besides Little House on the Prairie? But Hollywood is risk adverse. If it worked one time, in their mind, it's going to work again. So that's the other thing about this.
Wow. Of Salt and Silence says, I've read them all too. Excuse me.
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah, the air conditioning is hitting me. Anyway, I'd rather do that because it's hot. All right, everything from her great grandmother to her daughter. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Wonderful books. Laura Ingalls Wilder was an amazing storyteller. So
yeah. Wow. And Michael Landon, who could have done it better? My mom had a crush on him. He was a handsome man. He definitely was.
Very much so. Very much so. All that hair. And later on, he did Highway to Heaven.
Right. That was another with this Edwards, Mr. Edwards. French. I forgot his name. French.
Yes. Victor French.
Victor French. Yeah. That was a great,
Yes.
again, the morals. It's just that whole thing, the spirit of Michael Landon. That was, man, Highway to Heaven was one of my favorites. That was a beautiful one. Well,
Amazing.
last week I asked you what your favorite movie was, and you mentioned Coming to America.
I
Okay.
did.
My favorite Eddie Murphy movie. Here it is.
The Golden Child?
I love The Golden Child.
Wow.
Saudam Noomspa, Brother Noomsi. My dear Brother Noomsi.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah, that one is so
Wow.
funny. He is freaking hilarious. And I'm bringing this up because he was the 80s. Eddie Murphy was the 80s. And here's another classic.
Beverly Hills Cop. Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop. Another classic.
Absolutely.
Here's another one.
Absolutely.
Nick Nolte.
Oh, yes. Why am I blanking on them? 48 hours. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh man, another classic. Okay, this may be my second favorite one. It's a battle between that and Coming to America, but I love this one.
Wait, I'm trying to Trading Places, right?
That's
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, with Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd. And who else was in it? The
Yes.
lady from Halloween. Oh man, I forget her name. If you guys remember, let me know. The lady from Halloween. She was the actress in this. Yeah.
Why am I blanking on her name?
I
But
know,
I know
right?
exactly who you're talking about.
So we got that one. We got that one. All right. And then of course, oh my
Yes, Jamie
God.
Lee Curtis.
There you go. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes. Coming to America.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hannah says, I forgot about Highway to Heaven. Yeah. And they show it on Pluto. It's on Pluto.
Yes.
You can also find Little House on the Prairie on Pluto.
You can find all of these shows. Nostalgia is big, folks. Remember, especially because we're in crazy times, people like to lean on nostalgic shows.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And then, of course, who can forget Comedy History? My goodness. Oh, that's not McDonald's. The whole thing with McDonald's. Oh my goodness. Here's Delirious. Here was another one.
Yes.
Yeah. What the hell was he wearing? Those tight leather. That was the 80s. That was the 80s. But he got away with it. He got away with it.
He did. But did people not try and copy? Let's not pretend like they didn't.
Come on.
Yeah.
So here's what's quite amazing and a fun to talk about topic is this. I'm of the opinion that, first of all, he's been asked over the years, will you ever do another stand-up? He says, I am open to it. And it looks like he may be leaning towards doing it. I'm of the opinion it has to happen. He's going to definitely do it. There's too much money there. Here's the thing. When he does it, and I want to hear your thoughts on this because this is my opinion. When he does it, I believe it will be the biggest stand-up comedy thing ever in history. Your opinion, Dr. Tachi?
I want that to be the case.
Ooh.
I really want that to be the case.
Ooh.
I don't know if it will be the case, only because it's been such a long time since he really has been in the stand-up world. Now, that's where his start is. That's who he is, a stand-up comedian, but he's now transitioned into an actor. It doesn't mean he's not funny. He's a comedic actor now.
Yeah.
So to really hold people in stand-up is a really particular thing. And sometimes it's better, since he's not been doing this, sometimes it's better to just go out on a high and embrace this era that you're in. That's like, okay, the other day, I can't remember where it was, but DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince did a set.
Wow.
I don't need to hear the Fresh Prince rap anymore.
Oh, my.
Okay. I don't need to hear whatever it is you were fine back in the day. I don't need to hear you now. Now that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it feels like you've transitioned into an actor. You've done all of these things. And I think sometimes it's like, I get it. You miss and you want to revisit these types of things. but does the audience want that?
Mm.
I don't know. So I'm hoping what you're
Mm.
saying is true, but I don't know.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I think he can do it. I think if he, I think
Okay.
that's what's, I know, I think that's, I agree with you. I think that's what's taking him long. I've heard him talk about this, and he mentioned that what you're saying is exactly what's taking him long. He wants to make sure, of course, that it's done right. And you made a great point, is going out on that high note, which, come on, he already is there. So yeah, well, that's what's going to make it interesting, right? That's what's going to make people pay for that, is to see, is he still the same? Is he better, or whatever the case is? It's gonna happen one day, and I think it'll be the most viewed, the most historical comedic stand up ever. I think it's going to be the most watched because it's Eddie Murphy, and he's
Well, I hope it.
inspired. Yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, he's inspired people like Martin. Most of the comedians today either go to Richard Pryor or Eddie and say
Yeah.
those are my inspirations.
The
So
inspirations. Yeah,
yeah.
I feel you. We just don't want it to be like that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul
Oh
fight.
wow, come on. Yes. Oh brother. Oh, what? I don't, come. Are you kidding me? Your mic. I don't even want to get into that one. That was
We
crazy.
won't get into it,
No,
but this is what I'm talking about.
gotcha. Yeah,
Something that you come away from something and then you come back, you
yeah,
probably are not going to start from the same place,
yeah,
even as much as people love you.
yeah.
So,
Right. Yeah, yeah. All right. On to something else. How about this? Back in the 80s, well, it started in the 70s, but it blew up in the 80s. How many remember this? I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I think, does it say it?
is this a ColecoVision?
Exactly.
Oh,
This was what a video game looked. This was like the first big major video game set. Look at that controller. Oh my goodness. Some people are looking at that being like, that used to be the PlayStation of the day. And that was, it started out, it was like I said, there was some stuff before, but this is the first major gaming system, and it was Coleco. And then came
Atari.
Atari. And look at that joystick. Boy, a lot of popular games came out of Atari back then. And then they
Yes,
had
I remember
these.
that.
Do you remember this, Dr.
Oh
Tosh?
yeah, the
These little handheld
Nintendo.
ones?
What is the name of it? They're from Nintendo, but what is the name of it?
Game and Watch? That's what these
Oh,
are.
is that what it is? Game and
Yeah,
Watch. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So they had several of these. This is another one. And man, I
Oh,
recall these. I recall these from the 80s. These crank.
this is so janky compared to what we have now.
But you know what? We were tearing these games up. It was fun
We
back in
tore
the day.
them up. It was certainly fun. It
Yeah.
was certainly fun.
How about these, Dr. Tashi? They were like mini arcades,
Yes.
little
Listen.
mini arcades. And we had Pac-Man, we had Donkey Kong, we had Frogger.
Yes.
Wow.
Those were the precursors to the computing age, if people don't realize it. And the whole thing is, what was really big in my school was across the street from the school was an arcade called Westworld. They picked the right place because it was right across from a school, and it was the everybody was over there every day after school. Not us, of course. My mother's like, "No, you come home." So they were there every day after school. So to have a mini arcade game
Yeah.
was a big deal.
Yeah. Bring the arcade to your home. So
Absolutely.
Hannah says, my goodness, Dr. Tashi, you know everything.
I love pop culture and television and all of that.
She's the
One day
queen
it will
of pop
pay
culture.
off.
Yeah. 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 All right. So here's when things really changed. This is this is the one as far as gaming, and there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. So there's so here was the next one. Y'all know this one.
Yes.
This is where
Nintendo.
everything really changed. Right there.
Mhm.
Nintendo changed it all with the best graphics. It was the first time that you can get, and even when we look back at those games, well, I'll give you an example. Here was what a baseball game looked like back then. Because I like baseball and I still play. I had each and every one of these. Everything I've showed you, I have had. So this was what a baseball game looks like back then. Here's what it looks like today.
Yes.
They look so real. It looks so real.
Absolutely. Can I say something about
Of
Nintendo?
course, please.
So this is the interesting thing about Nintendo. Atari was based, so Coleco came in on the scene. Atari came on the scene. Commodore 64 came on the scene, and they had
Right,
educational stuff, but they also had a lot of games. But
right.
what happened is, just like the ebbs and flows of the pop culture industry, people, got bored. I guess they were tired of looking at baseball players that looked like that. And so they stopped, really being involved in it, except for the real gamers. But one by one, all of the Atari and all of these people pulled out of the market. But who was sitting there watching? Japan with Nintendo.
Yes,
As soon
yes.
as everybody pulled out
Ooh,
of the market, bam, they came
wow.
in because their graphics were better than what was
Yes,
there. So they
clever.
took their time. So this is a thing for us, a tale for us to heed, that you don't always have to be first.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
have to be the best.
yeah. Clever, clever stuff. Yeah, the Japanese, I notice every culture has something that they are so good at specifically. Japan with the video games,
Mhm.
they're just so good. Anyway, after Nintendo came
Sega.
Se- Sega Genesis. So
Yes.
it was the battle between Nintendo and Sega. Nintendo had Mario Brothers. Excuse me.
Yes.
Sega had Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Sega.
good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it started getting the graphics started getting better with it had 16-bit. I think Nintendo had 8, if I'm correct. You do your own
Yes, I
research.
think you're correct.
Yeah.
I think you're correct.
And then Sega came out with their 16-bit, and those graphics were amazing. But then the next game changer came, PS1.
PS1. Listen,
And now we're at PS5, and it's all
we're
you
at
got to pay five,
PS5.
$600 for it.
PS5.
So
And then, beyond the fact of having the hardware, we now have cloud gaming basically. So you're
yeah,
talking about people coming on Twitch and doing all sorts of things, and they're not really using necessarily a game console all the time.
yeah,
You've got
right,
games that exist out there in the cloud,
right,
and
yeah,
people are playing against each other. So it's
hmm,
even evolved from hardware.
yeah, exactly. So now I brought this up for several reasons.
Okay.
One of them is, first of all, look at this. So this is,
Ah,
yeah, back in the 80s, before, how can I say this? I think oh man, I just thought about something that I didn't think about before. Okay, so here was my point. It's that back in the 80s, when even in the 50s, 60s, 70s, the board games brought families together.
mhm.
So families with their children would be playing these games, or their friends would
Yes.
come over and everybody would play Monopoly or Mousetrap or Operation or
Yes.
Hungry Hippos or Light Bright, Chess, Battlefield, all those old games. And
Yes.
then, but you look at now, and everybody's on their phone. Everybody's on their phone playing the video games. It's not a family event anymore. So what do you
No.
say to the difference in, wow, back in then we used to play board games that included the whole family, and now you have your kid locked up in a room for hours by himself playing video games. Your thoughts?
It seems the more technology advances, the more solitary entertainment becomes.
Mm,
So if you think about, let's take this to the VR space. To enjoy a VR experience, you're wearing a headset, right? So you may be in a VR world with other people, right? You may be in a metaverse, for example. But by and large, it's still an individual experience because you have the headset on and other people are not necessarily participating with you. So not only the more we advance, but the smaller technology gets, the less of a communal affair it tends to be. And so I definitely think that we need to bring back, board games and game nights and things like that. And for a while, there was I think they did them all over the place, but here in South Florida, like Miami, they used to do these adult game nights, and they would have board games and all sorts of things, and music and a DJ and food, that type of thing. I haven't seen those in a while, but it became a trendy thing again. I mark my words. I think Gen Z is going to bring back these board games because they're looking for more experiences. They provide experiences that are communal. So I think Gen Z is actually going to look at bringing these types of things back. But if you have a family, play board games with them because it teaches all sorts of skills.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Dr. Tachi, so are you on the radio now? Do you do something with gospel, something? Can you help me there?
Yeah. When my show was on, we're still on sabbatical. When my show was on the air, it is on Gospel 107.1 FM, which is in Nassau, Bahamas, but you can pick it up in the rest of the Caribbean as well, and then online.
Wow. That's amazing. So talking about radio, wow, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, radio was everything. It shaped pop culture. Without it, you wouldn't have what we have. All the musicians, everybody you had to be on the radio. It was either that, American Bandstand, there was another one, Soul Train, Dance Mania, no, I'm joking.
I was like, Dance Mania was real.
Okay. And MTV. So back then, radio was everything. I remember Z100, 98.7 Kiss FM.
Kiss FM.
For sports, WFAN in New York. My favorite station in New York was, I don't know if you remember this, WPAT. Easy 93.
I don't.
They played a lot of the soft rock from the 70s, like the Carpenters, Jim Croce, Neil Diamond, Peter, Paul and Mary, Rosemary Clooney, Neil Sedaka, all of those people.
All my mother's favorites.
Yeah. Oh, they're still my favorites. Oh, they're so great. I love the music back then. But yeah, radio, it was how you got your music out, and MTV, but mostly radio. So, Dr. Tachi, will radio go away one day? Will it be? Because we're using so many different ways to listen to music now, but radio is still around. So, will it last?
I don't think it will go away completely. I think as what's happening now, it will just be reinvented to a solely online format. It's very different from television, where television is definitely waning, but it's not going away quite yet. So I don't think that all of these, quote, old forms of media are going to dissipate. They'll just be reinvented on other forms of media. They will just listen online, because if you have to think, most people listen to the radio when they're in the car, and they're not always listening to the terrestrial radio, because number one, you have Sirius XM, and many people have subscriptions to that in their cars. People are they're hooking up their phones to the cars and listening to music that way. So traditional terrestrial radio as we know it is definitely changing and will continue to change. If they want to stay around, they're going to have to figure out, number one, how to pull in new generations of listeners, and number two, how to make it exciting in this hyper realistic world that we live in.
Wow. Well said. Well said. My, I still have so many questions. Wow. Well, Dr. Tachi, I tell you what. Oh, by the way, let me just mention, next week, Carolyn Nickel will be back, certified holistic nutritionist all the way from Toronto, Canada. She will be here live to answer your health and nutritional questions. Take advantage, people. Free. It doesn't cost you anything to watch, and you get that kind of advice. That's amazing. And in Carolyn, she's so good. She's
stellar.
Right on. Absolutely, yeah. So, Dr. Tachi, tell us about Mediascope. Tell us about Mediascope. Tell us about Indie Soup Media, please.
So, Mediascope is the show that I developed 11 years ago, which is a news show about media, tech, and pop culture news. And that's usually on Friday nights when we come back. We will be back at the end of July because our 11th year anniversary is July 29th. So, we'll be
Wow.
back sometime around
Oh, we got to
that.
celebrate. That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. Yes, because the last few years I've forgotten. So we have to make it a point this
You
year.
forgot year 10? Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, damn, I forgot. Yeah. So it is what it is. It passed, but we can celebrate 10 plus one. And
Yes.
then Indie Soup Media is the network I founded that is an independent network for independent content creators. We live primarily on YouTube, about 25 creators. There are 30 shows that you can watch. We're on hiatus right now because we're reorganizing things, but you can watch all of the on-demand shows we have there on our YouTube channel.
Awesome. Awesome. And here are Dr. Tashi's handles. She has her website, Indie Soup Media TV. She's on Instagram. Of course, she has her own YouTube channel, and she's on the Booking of the Face. How do you say it?
Yes.
How do you say it, Dr.
Yes.
Tashi?
Book face.
The book face. What about the Ubing
Book
of the
face.
tube?
It's the tubing of the U.
The
Yes.
I said it the other way around. The tubing. Oh man, you need to have these are Tashi-isms.
Yes.
These are
They are.
Tashi-isms.
Dr.
Yeah,
Vibe says the same thing.
yeah. So, Dr. Tashi, thank you so
Yes.
much for being with us. It's so much fun talking pop culture with you. I can hardly wait for the next time we get together. I can hardly wait
Yes.
for Mediascope, where you do your thing on pop culture and tech. That's going to be so much fun. Everyone, thank you so much for watching us. Don't forget, next week, Carolyn Nicole is back with answering all of your health and nutritional questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Tashi. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
See you
everyone.
soon.